Great. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the Marketing and Advertising Workshop. My name is Colleen Connell, and I'm excited to lead this workshop today. In the workshop, we're going to discuss ways to develop your marketing plan and when or if you're offering new services within your library, as well as marketing advertising goals, and how to create marketing materials. It's an intimate group today, so feel free to share ideas and experiences throughout the workshop. Just raise your hand, speak up, whatever questions you have. And if you have great ideas for marketing, we'd love to hear them. Remember, marketing is a process identifying customers' needs and determining how best to meet those needs. Part of marketing also is advertising. Advertising is promoting what you have or your product or your service. Okay, so not all marketing is advertising, but all advertising is marketing. You want to get more people to remember what you have or what you are advertising. So let's move on. Okay, so one more thing to think about, if your library will be expanding literary services, all of your libraries are likely doing some sort of advertising already. So these ideas are not really breaking new ground, but meant to get your ideas flowing while you are developing your digital literacy plans for your library. Throughout the workshop, feel free to share what has worked for your library or what did not work for your library in the past. It may be that the existing advertising may simply need to include any new services your library will eventually offer to get the word out. Okay. We also realize that some smaller libraries may not have some tools already in place. Some may have to have a marketing team or person. Some just have a website. Therefore, some of the ideas in the presentation may be new considerations for you to the extent possible. The idea is to start thinking about how to promote any new services you determine will work for your library, given your existing resources. The goal is to reach out to prospective students and let them know that the service or a workshop or a course is available. This will help pique the interest in your services. There are several ways to recruit, and it's important that you use different methods or a combination of methods, as each one can potentially reach a different population. Some may work better than others for you, and we will go through some of these examples. You choose what is best for your library. So again, social media, advertising with social media. Most of you probably already post your library event this way, maybe on Facebook. Social media advertising can generate leads and raise awareness. Social media ads are a quick and effective way to connect with your community. Your library, via your website, your posters, flyers, outside signs, digital signs, easels in the lobby or the entrance. I know that we at the Plainfield Library, we don't have a digital sign outside our library that really promotes what we have. So we do a lot of our advertising inside with the flyers, the easels, the website. We want to draw people to our website. So if whatever your library has, take advantage of that. Okay. You can also reach out to other libraries. Some of your reach out to the libraries providing marketing materials that you may work with. We at Plainfield Library, we work with East Brunswick Library, and we share back and forth. So they will advertise our training courses that we have, and at the same time, we would advertise for East Brunswick Library. You could expand that with any of the libraries local to you also. So don't forget about the other libraries in your area. Right? Local businesses, schools, and house of worship. Don't be afraid to send flyers and bring flyers to any of the businesses. We have walked around downtown Plainfield and dropped off flyers. We've actually pinned up flyers. We've taped flyers. It's really, really helpful. We drop them off in English and in Spanish also. So we make sure that we capture who our audience is, our community. And we have a lot of Spanish in our community here. So we make sure that all of our marketing materials are in English and in Spanish. Also, don't forget about your community and workforce partners. The American Job Center, or the AJC, if you haven't reached out to them already, they're a great partner within your county. We work with the American Job Center out of Union County for us, and that draws a lot of people or students, clients, to us for our courses. Okay. Once you build a partnership with them, it can become a regular routine of filling some of your classes or just getting more traffic into your library. Okay. And one of the great things we did over the summer, last summer, was we hosted an open house to show off what we have. We had the children's department there also, and they set up a section where we gave out free children's books. We also had a spinning wheel where we gave away prizes. So, and we brought in like some snacks also, some water and snacks. So that drew in a huge population, especially in our area, that we started offering a Spanish course, because we had so many people show up and want to have it in not just English. The computer course we teach is IC3. So we now teach that course in Spanish during the evening. So that gave us so many clients by having that open house. I just can't wait for us to do another open house at Plainfield. Hopefully that's on the cards in the future. And then of course, just word of mouth. Sometimes just, talking with people, clients, patrons in your library, and getting the word out, that will help. So I want to kind of open it up now to any questions that you might have, or also let us know, how do you advertise? Like, I've just gone over several ways that you could do that with social media, working with partners. So I'll call on Roberta and see if you have anything you'd like to share with us at this time. What are you doing in your library?
Yeah, so we used to do a lot on Facebook, and we still do a lot on Instagram, but some of our marketing people are thinking that Facebook is, they're not sure about promoting programs through Facebook. They talk about like having more ideas about the library field and initiatives, that kind of thing. But I really find Facebook is very helpful. So you suggested ads on Facebook. Do you think creating a Facebook event is a better way to promote all of your programs that require registration, as opposed to doing individual posts?
And Colleen, I'm gonna sort of take over for a second on this one. And Colleen's gonna talk a little bit later on about Facebook a tiny bit more.
Mhm.
But at Plainfield, we don't create the Facebook as an event.
Okay.
Because we don't want that to be the only way to register. But if we need registration, we don't want two different registrations. So what we'll do is we create images of information about the event with a link where they can go to register.
Right.
So you see the class, the tutoring session, whatever it is that we're marketing.
Right.
You learn more about it, then you click the link to get more information and register. So that's how we do it on Facebook. And so not as an event, but that way. And I will tell you that for some of our bigger courses that we run, which is over several weeks or multiple weeks, we get most of our attendees from Facebook. Like, we've asked how they came to us. So that's how we're handling it. And I think later, Colleen will maybe explain boosting, or I can show you where to get more information on Facebook boosting. You do have to pay for it, but
yes, we've done that. Yeah,
we've found it so
I'm really glad to hear that, because that's always been my feeling. And I used to even post photos after the event to show people, like, what an amazing time they had. And I'm kind of getting outvoted here, but I'm glad I have the official go ahead there, because I agree. Not every time I've paid for a boost or to pin the item there, it's really yielded a lot of great results.
Roberta, I would also recommend checking out some other libraries' Facebook pages and seeing how they're doing it, because I have a few libraries that I follow that I've worked with before that you do see a lot of that same
Okay,
boosting and events so that you can say, other libraries are still
Mhm.
doing that.
right,
Because the young kids are using Instagram or they're using, and no offense, but us old folks are still on Facebook.
Right.
And that's to me is my first go-to
Right.
for
Right.
when I'm looking for something.
Right.
So
and it's so easy to share. Yeah. And I definitely agree with you with the local businesses. It's harder to have the time to walk around town, but it
Mhm.
makes such a difference. And it's good to just be visible within the community.
Yep.
And let's see, and word of mouth, definitely. So it used to be through our Buckles consortium that we could just do an all Buckles and send a flyer or whatever for like a big event that had, large capacity. And now they just don't do that as much. You can't just send items to different libraries and have them post. Everybody seems to be a little bit more exclusive or so. But yeah, I think it's a matter of having a relationship, as you were saying, to the ones that are like for us, Glen Rock and Paramus and Wyckoff and Hohokus, the ones that are in the immediate vicinity.
Mhm.
I think that's a great, like the personal touch is really
Yeah.
key.
Just a quick question, Roberta. What is your role at Ridgewood Library?
Assistant director.
Assistant director.
So I used
Okay.
to be I've been here 23 years now. So I was head of children's for a long time and head of adult services. And just this 2023, our director retired. So the former assistant director is the director now, Lori Steinbacher. And then I moved up from adult services to assistant director. And my focus, which is why I'm here, is community engagement and outreach and
Okay.
programming. So the assistant director role is really working on all of this, getting people in here that aren't library users, promoting. I like your description of marketing, just identify the needs out there and reaching out. So we're really going to ramp up our outreach, efforts in the coming year.
Yeah. And congratulations first.
Thank
That's
you.
great
Thank
that you're in a new role.
Yeah.
But also the open house, like I really stress
Yes.
that because we had such a good time. I mean, Kristen was there, I was there, several people from our department.
Yes.
It really drew in a lot of
Great
people
idea.
into the library and for the services, but it filled our Spanish classes
Yeah.
because now we host them. And so it was a community that we didn't reach out to enough.
Right. Exactly.
Having that open house, it made us aware.
Right.
And
Right.
yeah. So
And we were talking about having an open house. We have a library of things with over 100 items, from kitchen things to tech to telescopes and mahjong games. It's just an incredible collection, but it's hard. We can't put it out on display. So we were talking about an open house in the auditorium one Saturday to do like a show and tell and really do a hands-on.
and then you have other areas of the library sort
Yes.
of advertise a little bit.
Exactly.
So, the children's calendar, you'll print it out, and
Exactly.
we have a flyer for our training, our IC3 classes or whatever digital literacy classes. Colleen, and I apologize if you mentioned it, but community colleges are also a great partnership.
Definitely.
We got a lot of people from our open house, either from the grade schools or from the community college. Like that was a big audience for us.
Great idea.
yeah, I didn't mention that yet. I wonder if we might have to add that to our presentation. So just to go into a little more detail now, we're going to take a little deeper dive into the pieces I just talked about for places to market and advertise. Again, social media, we just talked about that with Facebook. You can actually do the boost, which you're already familiar with, is boosting. We do that we offer courses, like a set of courses every quarter, 4 times a year, winter, spring, summer, fall. So we're now advertising for our spring classes. So we will do a Facebook boost and pay to get that done. It is roughly $50 when we do a boost.
You do it more than 2 weeks, I think. And
yes, because and it can be more or less. Go ahead, Kristen.
I think when we last looked into it, it was $1 a boost, and we put in a $50 account. And so once that money was done, that's when we stopped boosting. So you pay by how many times they're posting it.
Okay.
And then also, I know TikTok is really popular, but it's very expensive. So we haven't gone down that path yet for TikTok, but the last time we looked, it was like roughly $500 for a campaign. So, but you know, TikTok is, you know, very popular now. But it is expensive compared to the other ways that you can advertise. So again, we post in English and in Spanish. We always make sure that we have it in, we do our flyers in both languages. You know, when you advertise, you don't give each piece of information all at once because that clutters the ad, and people will gloss over that. So what we post internally in our library is different than what we post on social media. Social media, like Kristen had said earlier, is we want them to click and to go in deeper. So we do a smaller or you know, a more simple ad for that. So Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. So we talked a bit about, you know, some of the other ones, but do you advertise at all with any YouTube videos? Do you do anything like that with your library?
You know, not to payment. We do have several YouTube channels. And our youth services department does TikToks a lot. I didn't think there was any payment. I think they just put up posts without doing a campaign.
Yeah, if you're advertising versus posting, it's a little
Yeah,
different.
okay.
Yeah,
But they've been phenomenal. Like people love the TikToks and I have to learn how to do that, but
I know. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm not
We
there
only-
either myself.
Yeah, I've only done just a couple Facebook boosts over the course of, you know, the past couple of years, but we haven't paid for advertising beyond that.
Well, the picture that we have here on the slide is an example of what Red Bank has used in one of their workshops. So you can kind of get an idea of you know, draw attention, simplify. And they created this in Canva. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Canva.
Oh, yes, that's pretty much what we use now. It's been great.
Great. And do you use Canvas?
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay. So Canvas is what we're going to be giving you a link to where we share our information.
Okay.
Kristen, I'll let you if you want to expand on Canvas.
I was actually just going to see if we have Roberta in there yet. Sorry, I had to make sure I wasn't muted. Canvas is really, it's a learning management software that allows for all kinds of file sharing and information sharing. And we post anything regarding the labor and literacy program in Canvas as it's coming up so that people can access it. So for example, there are a couple of Canva, this is where it gets confusing. There are a couple of Canva flyers that we created. So if you've never used it before, you could take these flyers, change the information in them, and then use them as your own. The instructions on how to do that, the links to it, all of those are in our Canvas site. In addition, we're going to record this video. The recording of this workshop will be in there, as well as other workshops that we've run, etc. So it's a really good place to get more information about how this program works. And as well, there is a message board section that you can start communicating with other libraries that are part of the program as well. So I'm going to check and make sure that you have access, and if not, I will email you a sign up for it.
That sounds great. Wonderful.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. Okay, so here I just put we put some pictures of you know, physical flyers that we have in our library. We have a trifold that talks about our lab, because we advertise lab. We have a digital board that's down in our literacy department that displays different screens. That's one on the top right that changes throughout the day of different screens. And we also have acrylic frames that we put around the public computers and the tables upstairs, because we have 2 floors in our library. So upstairs where the public computers are, we will advertise there to market the classes or the lab, the literacy lab that we have. So, okay. Do you have any other ideas that you might do at your tables upstairs or your public computers? Do you have any marketing you do there or advertising?
We do, yeah, we do. We have 4 of the screens, and we do have the Lucite, holders, and then we have it doesn't work too well. We have this like tall round thing that spins, and that there's 3 sides, and they can each hold a flyer with maybe an 11 by 17 size poster. And then we can put, like little takeaways on that thing, but it's a little awkward. It's hard to keep updated and change. So
Okay.
kind of takes up a lot of space without giving us a lot of, it hasn't
Okay.
been quite as successful, but I find people still do like the little takeaway. We're trying to save paper and ink and put QR codes as you do on a lot of the materials.
Right,
So
exactly.
often we try to create one big one with a QR code and maybe some half sheet or quarter sheet takeaways.
Okay.
And we have a newsletter. You were talking about quarterly programming. We have a newsletter that we put out every quarter.
Okay.
So it's just basically, it's kind of an overview of everything in the library. So, a lot of the people, maybe not as much of the young people, but a lot of people, goes to every resident, and it's all over the library. So that's kind of a good home base for the quarterly programs. But
So you do mailings, it's not electronic?
that's right. We have a weekly e-newsletter, and we'll put other special interest ones throughout the months too. But the Friends of the Library sponsored newsletter that goes out 4 times a year, and people still really use it. And it's expensive and very time consuming, but we're trying to figure out if we should still do it. But so far, the Friends and the our community still want us to put it out. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
But I think most of the families of children and teens are doing everything online. So I don't think they use it as much. It's more for, maybe grandparents and other residents. Yeah.
Okay, great. So again, posting flyers, printing brochures, website, digital signs, creating a calendar with your workshops. I mean, I know most libraries have a calendar, like we do too. So a calendar with the workshops, emailing, which we were just talking about too, and just advertising your new services, local libraries, sharing links like we do with East Brunswick and your other libraries too. Okay. Where else can you market? So this is the type of flyer we actually walk around, and we will push pin on people's cork boards in their supermarket, wherever it might be. We've gone to laundromats, nail salons. Kristen mentioned earlier, community colleges. Anywhere you can think of. We actually get out there and hit the pavement and take the flyers out and go. Right. Your community partners, I talked about the AJC, the American Job Center, or they used to be the one-stop agencies. Do you have a relationship, Roberta, with yours?
Tomorrow we have the Bergen County Mobile Job Center coming. And I think they're Hackensack based. They might be connected with One Stop.
Okay.
But they literally are bringing the show on the road. They're coming in a bus, and they set up tables in the auditorium with laptops, and it's literally one-to-one drop-in, career counseling for 2 hours.
Wow.
So we're looking. This is the first time we're having them here. So we definitely want to do more things like that this year. There's also a group in Englewood, the Englewood Women's Rights Initiative, something along that line. And they're all professionals, mainly retired, who volunteer their time, and they meet with people one-to-one and do the same kind of counseling. And it's been really, really helpful.
They volunteer their time. We like to hear that word, volunteer.
Oh my God, I can send you the links because I found out about them because a few Ridgewood residents volunteer their time.
That would be fabulous, because
I will. I'll send
again,
that to you.
sharing information.
Oh my gosh, they are phenomenal. And we
Okay.
have tons of community partners with different disciplines, with like age-friendly and access for special needs population and the arts foundations, all of that. So we have a lot of great partners in town.
Oh, good. Yeah, share. Yeah, definitely send us that
Yeah.
information. That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Do you use TAP? Well, here, I'll go down some of the slides. So early communication, we always talk about with it. If you have something coming up on your calendars, make sure you communicate early enough. email students that may have attended past classes even, but go through your library list, whatever you have. Email your agencies when you have your events coming up. Emailing any prospective students. We use Trumpia to text mass text. I don't know if you have a
Oh, I
tool.
don't
like-
know that.
Okay. It's basically using like an SMS, like you just mass text a group of, do you use LACES
No.
tracking data at all? Okay. We have so many classes and we have
Yeah.
such a database.
Uh-huh.
We use LACES, LACES,
Okay.
as a reporting tool for the
Okay.
Department of Labor and Workforce Development Boards and our partners.
Okay.
LACES is the database that collects all of our information on all students. And that's not just for digital literacy, it's for GED,
Okay.
it's for ESL,
Okay.
and anything we offer through literacy.
Oh, okay. I'm definitely gonna look into it. And did you say that's free? Or
No, LACES
Okay.
is not free. I don't have numbers on that. We can
Yeah.
always get that to you, but
okay. I
it's
can
not,
look that up. Okay.
it's not free, but when we pull when we capture from the beginning, capture information, we do a big intake. Like we
Okay.
gather a lot of information during intake for
Yes.
any patron that takes anything within the library toward
Okay.
literacy. And from that information, if we want to do a mass mailing or texting, we use Trumpia.
That's good.
Colleen, actually, we are going to start using LACES to do the texting. LACES now has a feature for that.
Right.
So we are getting rid of Trumpia
Right.
because LACES can do that. So I just wanted to point that out, because if you're thinking through all of this stuff, you don't need both.
Okay, that's good.
That's
use,
the only reason.
We use different databases. We have Logistics for volunteer database.
Mhm.
We use Plymouth Rocket. We use TixKeeper and KitKeeper for our museum passes and Library of Things circulation. And then we have Engage Patrons is our online registration program. And we are thinking about changing that. So when people register for programs, we have the, cell phone and email. So we kind of send mass messages to people who
Yeah.
register for programs. But like you said, we don't have like one database, aside from the people who register for our e-newsletter. That's about 4,000 people. But it is, yeah. And are people okay? Like they know when you're interviewing them, when let's say they're doing intake for an ESL interview, they know that you're capturing this information and that you'll be in touch with ESL related communications only. Right. Okay.
With library related communications.
Okay.
Yeah, with
Okay.
library, yeah.
But we're selective because you can sort of track, these are ESL folks, we're going to send this. These are people who were involved in digital literacy and we're going to send this. And then if it was entire, libraries, so you can be very selective on what you're going to do with which groups.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And we can always talk in the future if you want more information about LACES.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, that
'cause
looks really
we've been
interesting.
using it for quite a while.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, let's see what else. AJC orientations, like they're online now because no one's come back in the office for the agencies. But we always found that, if you can partner with anybody and attend any of their orientations or give them your marketing materials, so they have it during their orientations.
Right.
That's helpful too. Reach out to your agencies. We talked about that. Contacting your local senior centers, colleges, community colleges, and TAP. I don't know if you've tapped into TAP like we have.
Yes, they've been great, really great. Yeah.
So this is our open house. I talked about open houses a bit ago.
Oh,
So,
I like that a lot. It looks great.
yeah, so we did our flyer. We actually got out, and even the trees, like I said, our outside area isn't great for marketing our stuff. So we actually taped the posters around the tree. We did tape and put it around the tree like Europeans would do with advertising at right near the bus stop. Like we put the flyers out there, we put them in the ground like a house for sale.
Yeah.
We did that kind of posting for the open house, and it drew a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think we had like 70 some people, Kristen, right? I knew it was a lot. It
That's
was,
fantastic.
yeah, we got
It
a lot.
was huge. It was
Yeah.
great.
It was really good. Yeah. So, also things to think about if you're working with partners or vendors. We have some vendors. We use North Star
Yes.
digital. Yep, North Star. We have Certiport. They may be able to supply you with swag, and you can give that stuff out at your open house. So we get lots of free pens and mouse pads and t-shirts and
Yeah.
all sorts of swag. So I'm all about swag and free
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a good thing to try and reach out to those people ahead of time, and that way you have it when you have your open house.
Great idea.
Okay. Basically your goal is, keep it simple, get seen. You want to get your clients in the door, make sure you're clear about the services that you offer and that they're free. I mean, most of we're a library, so
Right.
almost everything we offer is free. Canvas, we're going to be sending you the link to Canvas, which will have a lot of the information that we talked about today. We'll have our examples we have in Canva of flyers that we've created ourselves. So think about, everything that you want to get people into your library, what you want to advertise, how you want to advertise it. Anything you can to get the people in the door to spark their interest. Creating the flyers, Canva, like you said, you've already been doing that. Here's some examples of flyers. We
Yeah.
want to share, what we have. So you don't have to recreate. If you want to borrow some of our designs,
Yeah.
feel free to do that.
Mhm.
But when you go in Canva, and we do that, we ask that you make a copy of it, not edit ours.
Right. Right.
We do have a presentation. Emily Miller from Red Bank is going to be doing a Canva presentation. She's going to be speaking at that on April 20th. So April 20th, she's going to be doing a presentation about instruction with Canva. And she's a fabulous speaker.
Yeah.
She was part of our, program from last year.
Right.
Let's see, what else? I think that might be, let's see. Okay. So that's all I have right now, but I want to thank you for attending the workshop, and you're well equipped now with all the knowledge for marketing and advertising.
I have a lot of good takeaways here. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We really hope you enjoyed the workshop. We certainly did. We thank you for your participation in our program. We appreciate your contributions and the time with us. Hope you come away with useful ideas, which I know you have. And we look forward to seeing you next time at a future workshop. We have many to come.
Okay.
So any questions you have, Roberta, Kristen and I are here to answer them.
Oh, it's so helpful. It really is. And as I said earlier, with the Ridgewood Library doing a full rebranding, with our ADA compliant website, we've also been thinking about ADA compliancy with all of our materials, even our informational signs, like literally everything we have an eye with that. So both for sustainability and for ADA compliancy. So it's kind of nice to have those two important factors in mind in designing all of these, and everything you presented today really is in connection with that, which is nice. So yeah, no, this is really helpful. I'm gonna look into some of the resources you provided, and I'll send you some of our the different things that we've been working on too. But